Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be revisiting Ghost. Now I did check out Ghost about 2 years ago when I checked out a track called Prejudice, I think it was called. And then shortly after that I checked out a band called Repugnant, which if I remember correctly was the singer of Ghost's previous band, and it was a very, very different kind of music to Ghost. And on that video a couple of weeks ago, someone suggested that I should check out a track called Mummy Dust, which is apparently a lot heavier than things like Cerise. You know, and I really liked Cerise. I thought it was a really good track, and I think the guy has an incredibly good voice. And like I said, but Repugnant was a very, very different style of music to Ghost. Now, I've read a lot of things where people go, oh, Ghost isn't really metal, it's only pop, and, you know, a lot of people seem to slag Ghost off. And, you know, I can understand you might not like it, but is there really any need to slag it off? I mean, if you don't like it, don't listen to it. It's really quite simple. But I quite enjoyed it. I've mentioned many times I like a vast array of different music. And I've not listened to much of Ghost. In fact, I think Cerise is might be the only track I've heard by them. I might have heard another one or two. I can't remember off the top of my head. So, you know, I'm not all that familiar with the music, you know, how the style has changed over time. Because I know whatever guys he's in. I know the lead singer has changed his style and name several times. But if I remember correctly, it's still the same guy. So I don't know how the music itself might have changed over the years as well. So we shall see. So, like I said, I'm going to be looking at a track called Mummy Dust because I was told this is quite a lot heavier than Cerise. So, I'm very curious. So, we'll jump into this and see what we've got. So, this is Mummy Dust by Ghost. Let's have a look. Well, there we go. Mummy Dust by Ghost. Now, musically, yes, definitely heavier, and the vocal style is quite different as well. Because, like I said, in Cerise, he's got a very sort of clean, sort of open, sort of sound to his voice. This has got much more of a sort of rasp, sort of whisper, sort of sound to it. Sort of maybe even vocal fry, if you will. And musically, it is heavier. I wouldn't say it's like very, very heavy, but it is heavier. But it still also has that sort of orchestral, atmospheric sort of sound in the background as well. Now, really, there isn't much in the way to the lyrics. It just seems to be talking about the corruption of people and things like that. But he is also using quite a lot of interesting words. So the lyrics go, Dust, I was carried on a wolf's back to corrupt humanity. I will pummel it with opulence, with corpulence and greed. Now, corpulence means like fat, greed, you know, corpulence being fat, sort of thing. And then it goes, in God you trust, my mummy dust, dust, my mummy dust. Your cavalier of crapulence, to this feast of rapacity, I'll murder you in treasures, just to feed your incapacity. In God you trust, my mummy dust, dust, my mummy dust. In God you trust, my mummy dust, dust, my mummy dust, dust. You're the possessee of avarice. Now, I can't remember what avarice means. What is avarice? Extreme greed of, you know, wealth and that sort of thing, you know. That sort of thing. I'm the ruler of the earth. I will smother you with riches till you choke on sordid mirth. You are surrounded in cupidity from I can never say this word, purulence and lust. I'm the magnet for stupidity, and divine you feel my thrust. And then it goes, in God you trust, my mummy dust, dust, my mummy dust, and that gets repeated till the end. Now, you're surrounded in cupidity. I'm not sure what cupidity is. Let's have another look, see what that is. I mean, I know what Cupid is. Cupidity, again, greed for money and possessions. So, again, he's talking about like a corruption of people from purulence and lust. Purulence is like the expulsion of pus, you know, like pus-filled sort of thing. So he's basically saying, you know, you're like a really sort of gross, vile, greedy person who only cares about money and fame and riches, and I'm going to take you down a peg. Basically, that's what the song is saying, you know. So, like I said, there's not really much in the way of lyrics, but I like the way it's written, you know, using all these sort of non-standard words, if you will. I mean, I've used a few of them in songs that I've written, but, you know, in order to make them fit into a song and for them to make sense, you know, it's pretty cool. Now, I will say I don't particularly enjoy this song as much as I enjoyed Cerise. Like I said, that had a much more almost operatic feel to it in its own way, and it seemed to have more theatre to it. But again, this didn't actually have a video to it either, so I can't really say much for the theatre of it all. But, you know, it's still a decent piece of music. I don't see why people crap all over it. I quite enjoy it. You know, I'm quite happy to listen to it. But, yeah, I do need to explore Ghost a bit more, because, I mean, like I say, this track is quite different to Cerise, which is the first track that I listened to, and it's also very different from the Repugnant track that I listened to, which was draped in cerecloth, something like that. You know, so I'm intrigued to see how different their music can be. You know, I don't know how early this one is compared to Cerise. It might be off the same album for all I know. But yeah, I'm curious to explore their music to see how their tracks vary. But yeah, it's a pretty decent track. I won't say it was like an exceptional track. I won't say it was a brilliant track, but interesting to say the least. But I don't know what else I can say on that, so I'll leave that as it is. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, maybe even subscribe if you're not already, because it would help me out considerably. But yeah, thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.